Welcome to Retirement Lifestyles, where it's all about the health, wealth, and freedoms you need to live your dream retirement. I'm your host, Patrick McNally. In our health segment today, we'll be talking with Kristin Uhleg from the Chico Hiking Association about how groups like hers can help you stay social and active in retirement. In our lifestyle segment, members of the Shasta Woodworkers Club share some of their most recent projects. Plus, we'll tackle 5 roadblocks to retirement. It's all right here on Retirement Lifestyles. Hello and welcome to the Freedom section of Retirement Lifestyles, and I've got a very special guest with me today, Kristin Uhleg with the Chico Hiking Association. Kristin, thank you so much for being on.
It's a pleasure, Patrick.
Super excited to talk about this because the outdoors in the North State, to me, the outdoors is huge to us. It's one of the biggest draws that myself and my family, we've got small kids, and we love to get out, and we love to hike, and we love to see all the areas and the trails and all that good stuff. So I got a bunch of good questions for you, but give me an idea about how you got involved with the Chico Hiking Association and what the association does.
Okay, well, I just moved here to Northern California in April, and as I'm coming across country, I'm already thinking I want to hike because that's what I've done all my life. And so I simply went online and Googled hiking in Chico, and the Chico Hiking Association was one of the things that popped up, and I went onto their Facebook page and just typed in, I'm coming from Maine, I want to go hiking, anybody up for it?
Wow.
And the man who has founded the Chico Hiking Association and is still active in working the maps and the website and Facebook responded, and so I dove in, and we've been hiking every week.
Tell me a little bit about the maps, because I know that's a big piece about what the Chico Hiking Association does.
So on the Chico Hiking Association website, you will first see lists of short hikes, moderate hikes, challenging hikes, all-day hikes, easy day hikes, the list of the peaks, so you can decide about what level you would like to dive into, and then you can find, let's say you wanted to do Broke Off Peak, which is in Lassen Park. Then you can go to that site and click on and get maps. And on the maps, you can find not only the trails, but you'll find what condition the trails are in, what condition the roads might be in to get there, what wildflowers you might be seeing along the way, whether dogs or bicycles are allowed, or horses, what waterfalls there are. And so it's just a wealth of information, and it's all free. So you just print out these maps and off you go. It's the information you need.
Kristin, can you give our viewers the website where they can go to?
It's Chico Hiking Association.
Now, you told me before when we were talking a little bit about the maps themselves, how important it is, especially for Chico, because you said before the association was ever created, there weren't any maps of the trails.
Right, there weren't any maps, yeah. So Pacific Crest Trail has maps, but there were lots of trails that were just spread by word of mouth, and how to get there and where they went and what condition they were was just sort of all secret. And Sierra Club was using them, and meetup groups that were hiking groups and meetup were using them. But this is the first site that is actually charting them, and every 5 years he goes back to the same trails and makes sure that they're still in good condition and updates his maps. Yeah, exactly. So it's really just a wealth of information, and it's all free. It's right there.
Kristin, have you been hiking your entire life, or is this something that you got into as you started getting into retirement?
No, I was one of those lucky kids. My dad was a mountain man, and so 60 years ago, he had one of those canvas backpacks and just cut 2 holes in the bottom and stuck my legs in it, and off we went. So I was just a lucky kid. I grew up in the mountains.
That was the very first baby carrier, unlike the ones we have today, right? Where you can stick them in, they put headphones in and everything today, all that crazy stuff. So if somebody isn't a natural hiker, didn't grow up in that, would you, do you recommend you know, even for retirees,
Yeah.
that they get into hiking, or is that something?
It's a fabulous way for retirees to just enjoy the day and meet new friends and be part of groups. So besides Chico Hiking Association that can get you started on ideas of where to go and the maps of where to go, you can join meetup groups, you can join Sierra Club, you can join Audubon, and or local groups that I don't even know about, and join a group. And some things that retirees might want to know. I've been retired for 4 years, so I definitely bring hiking poles now. Balance can be a little bit
Can
funny.
I see one of those, Kristin?
And so it really helps to stable us over 60 folks.
Okay, so these can be adjusted, obviously.
They are adjusted.
And you can pick these up just about at any store, any sports walking
Correct.
store
I'm
like
from
that.
Maine,
Okay.
so those are from LL Bean.
Okay,
and
perfect.
definitely bring a little backpack or fanny pack with water. Bring a visor for the sun, bug spray or sunscreen, and
And
you're
bring
pretty
your
good
map. That's the
Yeah,
number one
the
thing.
map.
Also, right? We got the maps available to you, so
Right.
you definitely want to bring those so you don't get
Exactly.
lost. Now, tell me some
Exactly.
about the trails, though. Would you recommend? Are trails? Does the map list them as easy, moderate, strenuous?
Yep, so that's what initially, when you go to the website, that's going to be all outlined for you, all categorized, what level hike you want to do. And it will then tell you also the mileage of it. Some of them are only a mile long. That's pretty easy to start off with. It will tell you what elevation gain there is. Lots of them are pretty flat. And that's a perfect way to start off. You could just go to a waterfall. You don't have to get up into the mountains at all. And then as you get to love it more and get addicted to it, you get up into the mountains to the elevation. And just yesterday, we were in Bucks Lake, a wilderness area, and there are the 3 lakes and Silver Lake and Gold Lake. Just these gorgeous alpine lakes up there at 5,000–6,000 feet.
Wow.
I come from the Northeast. We don't have things like that.
Yeah.
And it's just with the Sierra Mountains in the background, it's just spectacular.
Well, that's one of the biggest draws to the North State, and that's that's obviously why we love it here. Is there's so much to do outdoors.
There is.
And I think just a lot of times people don't know who to reach out to or how to get started, because a lot of people, they didn't grow up doing all this stuff. It's not naturally in their blood.
Right. Exactly.
So they want to get involved, but they don't know how to do it. But
this is a perfect place to start.
And you mentioned some groups that potentially they could link up with, and they could find that through Facebook or.
So again, if you just are searching on your web the meetup groups, that's an easy way to start. They're all ages and all different levels. So I Googled meetup in Reading, and there's a very active hiking group right here in Reading. You have 1,700 members or something in that group.
1,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
in Reading, because
there's a lot
you have a wealth of areas to go hiking right here. I mean, you're closer than we are in Chico to Lassen, to Shasta, to so many trails. So so meetup is a great way to start. Sierra Club offers hikes, and Audubon has walks, also bird-oriented, but same idea.
So are there any special tips for retirees that you would recommend, specifically novice beginners, that they would want to make sure that they check off on their list before they start going on a hike?
Well, besides the equipment that you want to bring, I really think attitude is a most important factor for the retirees to have. You just have to be willing to branch out to new people. You've left your working environment. You've left that security and everything that you've known for 40 years. And so it's going to be a time of change. So you just have to realize that this is going to be different, and that's okay.
Yeah,
so you're looking out to new clubs, you're looking out to connect with new people, and you're willing to accept that this is change and just a new chapter in life, and you're ready to go.
And have the excitement, just like Kristin, to go out and do it.
It's sometimes hard to make that transition from work to, what am I going to do? But just embrace it.
But once you do it, you have a great time doing it.
It's so much fun.
Kristin, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Patrick. It's a pleasure.
Oh, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Whether you are 10 months, 10 years, or even longer away from retiring, there are a number of key issues that you need to address before you make the big move.
Ask yourself this question: am I prepared for one of the biggest transitions of my life? Planning for retirement is not something that can be done overnight. Initially, you need to analyze everything from your current income, your net worth, to your health conditions. You're going to need a comprehensive, written financial plan to accomplish all your dreams and goals. And then you'll need to review and revise your plan on an ongoing basis to make sure you're on track. Financial planning isn't something you do just once. It's an ongoing routine that needs to be monitored carefully and adjusted as necessary. Did you know that most people spend more time planning for their next vacation than they do for their retirement? So a lot of times taking the time to sit down and put together a well thought out plan gets put on the back burner. And unfortunately, it often stays there for years. According to one survey, 55% of American workers have saved less than $25,000 for retirement, and 47% have saved less than $10,000. If you don't start taking the proper measures, you could be among a group of people whose standard of living is much lower in retirement than in their working years. On today's show, I'm going to be talking about 5 roadblocks that keep most people from having the kind of successful retirement that they've dreamed about. Your ability to pursue the retirement lifestyle you desire will depend to a great extent on how well you're able to overcome these roadblocks. The first roadblock most people have to overcome is their own failure to plan. This pattern of doing little or nothing to prepare for retirement means that they will have to accelerate their efforts from here on. According to a report by the Employee Benefit Research Institute, only 42% of workers have tried to determine a retirement savings target, and 58% of workers have no idea how much they need to retire on. My dad used to say, you can't hit a target you can't see. The second roadblock many people face is a lack of understanding of the financial markets and the corresponding terms and concepts. Now I understand. Some of those $25 financial advisor words can sometimes be like translating a different language. But having a basic understanding of commonly used financial words and concepts will help you go a long way and also guard against you being taken advantage of. The third roadblock is a rise in the cost of living. Inflation is the silent killer of any financial plan and can have an effect on everything from the cost of a home to your hamburger at In-N-Out. Think about this. How much did you pay for your very first house? You got that number? Now, how much did you pay for your most recent car? Chances are you paid more for the car than your very first house. That's inflation. Let me give you an example in real dollars. Let's assume inflation is 3%. A car that cost $50,000 today would cost $67,196 10 years from now. How about 20 years from now? The cost of that car would be $90,306. What can happen to your overall net worth if it's unprotected from inflation? At that same 3% rate of inflation, your net worth could decline drastically. Your money would be cut in half in 24 years. As a result, the purchasing power of $1 million nest egg would be reduced to $550,000 over the course of a 20-year retirement. The fourth roadblock we all face is the steady burden of taxes. For the past 40 years or so, Americans have paid roughly 30 cents out of each dollar just to taxes, and tax reforms have done little to simplify the complexity and ever-changing nature of the tax laws. When you combine the effects of taxes and inflation, if you don't plan for ways to control them, they could get out of hand really quickly. You also need to be careful of what kind of safe investments you use. They may only offer a safe way to lose money. Number 5. The most common and perhaps the most difficult roadblock to overcome is procrastination. Some people never quite get around to planning for the future. As a result, they fail to reach their financial goals and end up with a sub-level retirement. Procrastination can literally cost you money. Think about this example. Let's take 2 co-workers who are the same age. We'll call the first one Jack. Jack decides to invest $500 per month, earning a hypothetical 8% rate of return. His co-worker Bill waits 10 years and then begins investing the exact same amount. After 15 years, Jack would have $173,000 and Bill would have $36,750. And after 20 years, Jack would have $294,500 and Bill would only have $91,450.
After only 20 years, Jack will have accumulated more than 3 times as much as Bill. It doesn't pay to wait. Start saving today. You can overcome these roadblocks by taking a step back and looking at them individually. You'll start to overcome their effects as you start to seriously plan for retirement. Obviously, some of these issues can never be eliminated completely, but by planning and implementing prudent strategies, you may start to see some real improvement. The most important step? Take action now. Don't wait. If you don't change your behavior, you won't see any improvement in overcoming the roadblocks. You remember that old definition of insanity? Doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results? Here's the inconvenient truth about retirement today. Preparing for a financially secure retirement has become significantly harder in the 21st century. Not only are Americans living longer, healthier lives, which requires larger retirement resources to begin with, but they're facing the loss of traditional sources of retirement income during a period of changing demographics, rising healthcare costs, and volatile economic times. How you respond to these challenges will determine how comfortable you will be in your retirement years. Instead of jumping on the bandwagon of the latest trendy idea by the news media or investment gurus, you should consider time-tested strategies on how to retire. You need to identify the key issues in planning for retirement and find the tools to make informed decisions. Welcome to Retirement Lifestyles, and this is our Freedom segment of the show. And I want to welcome a special guest, Craig Zenley from the Shasta Woodworkers. Craig, thank you for being here today. We really appreciate having you on. Super excited, and you've brought such a great array of items and things that you guys have created with the Shasta Woodworkers. And I want to get to that, but first, give us a little bit of an idea of the Woodworkers, how long you guys have been around, and you're the president.
I am.
Currently, correct?
Yes. Been for a couple years.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the Woodworkers and what it is exactly that you guys do.
Okay, what I'd like to share with you is that we do have a website, and the website has a good explanation, and I'd like to read the home page on this. We have 30 or 40 active members. We have meetings on the third Thursday each month, but here's what we're involved with. The Shasta Woodworkers Club is an association of woodworking enthusiasts. Members include both men and women, all ages. Skills level are from absolute beginners to seasoned professionals, and interests vary. Our interests include cabinetry, furniture, lathe turning, carving, scroll work, clocks, pins, boat construction, box making, lamps, games, lots of toys, walking sticks, musical instruments, and just about anything made with wood. And
so Craig, any age really is available to be a part of the Shasta Woodworkers. You're not just a retiree group. Can kids come as well?
Right. We have some high school students that have been involved. We get some of our grandkids involved. And our wealth of experience is from our retirees because they have all this knowledge that they can share.
Right.
And we do put out a Wood Notes magazine every month. And so that lets you know where the meeting is and what's happening.
The Wood Notes magazine. Okay, so it's a newsletter of what's going on with the woodworkers and what's available as far as classes and the meetings go.
Right. And we put tips in there too, a lot of tips.
So give me an example, if you would, Craig. You've taught for a number of years. You've taught woodworking.
I did. I was a wood shop teacher and a building contractor. They kind of went together pretty well.
Okay. So. Tell me a little bit about, so how long were you a teacher?
I spent 37 years in education.
Excellent.
And I probably built 40 houses for a lot of teachers. That was kind of my special group.
I got a question for you when it comes to the teaching of woodworking. I remember when I was back in school, it was back in junior high, I took a woodworking class. I don't know if they called it shop or it was kind of a blend of the class. But I'm noticing today that a lot of schools aren't necessarily offering woodworking anymore. Is that the case that you see?
It is the case. It's part of budget problems.
Okay.
And that's one thing why we enjoy this so much, because we can still present these things for the kids and get them a little taste of this. Maybe it'll cycle back, you never know. But mainly it's a financial situation because the programs do cost money.
Okay, so are you guys, are the Shasta Woodworkers able then to partner with some of the schools in our local community to be able to offer some of these classes?
We visit the schools. We just visited the Shasta High School farm, and we let them know that we're a supporter of them for any time they need some special safety equipment or they need a group of people to express the interest, how good of a job they're doing.
I think that's so important because obviously, you know, I deal with the financial side of things, and I've noticed from that perspective that a lot of the financial classes aren't taught in school, and that's a shame to me. And the same thing I feel with woodworking and that type of craft. When it's not taught, I think that our students are losing out on a lot of knowledge. And I think it's so great that you guys are able to bring that back and, like you said, cycle it through maybe again, which would be really nice to have it as an actual class in school again. But tell me about the woodworkers and the monthly classes that you guys offer.
Okay, what I'd like to show you is with my show and tell, we have so much fun. We do a lot of contests. This particular one here, we gave everybody a block of wood and said, build something creative out of it.
Just let them go. Give them the wood and say, do what you do.
And here's the creative thing that we built out of it. Out of one piece of pine, and there were many more that were better than this. This happened to be one that was built for the granddaughter.
So you built that out of one piece of wood?
Out of one piece of wood, lathe turning and everything. Another one that we have done is we have built over 20,000 of these little wooden cars.
20,000?
20,000 over 20 years. Each member did 100 of these.
Wow.
Our lead person was Chuck Hall, one of our members, and we had give these out for different associations during Christmas time. They give them out.
Okay, so they build these and then give them away for the kids. Oh, excellent. Now, do you guys do any type of boxcar races or things like that?
Oh, we don't. They can do that.
Okay.
But our big event, one of the big events that we do is our club. We have 10 meetings, but 2 of the meetings, one meeting is our Christmas get-together that we have at the Perkins house. And the other one is called the Burger and the Build, and we cut all these parts out, and we build these birdhouses, and we go from Turtle Bay to veterans to schools. We have quite a few different associations. We're kind of on call, and we have the kids build these, and then we teach them how they work, how to clean them out. We have a little information sheet that we got information on these bluebirds. And so this is a great hands-on project. So I wanted to share that with you. And we do hundreds of these each year.
So the kids, you can actually, you put on these classes, like you said, at Turtle Bay and some of the other areas where the kids can be hands-on. And then your members, you said you got about 30, 40 members. Are the members available to be hands-on to help the kids?
And they love you. It's a real experience to take and watch these kids have fun putting these together. You watch your fingers, you might get a hit. They get a little wild on that.
When they start swinging that hammer, they get
And we do appreciate Sierra Pacific because they've kept our club alive, so we don't have this expense out of our own pocket.
Excellent.
So, and they donate these pine trim-ins, and we really enjoy it. This is a little safety lock that we have on that. So
keep it safe and locked. Hey, Craig, we've also got, you brought a special guest with you as well, Art Martin from the Shasta Woodworkers, who I'm thankful is going to be able to come on. I want to welcome Art. Hey,
how you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for coming on. Now, you've got some special items that you'd like to show us, and I think you've made yourself, correct?
Yes. Craig and I got involved with building the libraries for all the illiterate children and what have you. We made this one here, him and I, and then we installed it out at the Happy Valley Primary School.
Okay, so when you say libraries, tell me a little bit about that.
It's exchange of book.
Okay.
The schools generally put books in here for the children to read, and then when the children come up, they bring a book and exchange a book.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, you have these spread out at some of the different schools right now, or is that kind of a plan that you guys have?
Well, that's not what we did. We built these for this organization that does this, and then they place them. But we got to place this one at the school.
Okay.
Because his granddaughter goes there.
Oh,
so
okay, perfect.
Favoritism on that one. And grandson.
Art, what else do you have for us here?
Walnut bowl that I've turned.
When you say turn, give me a little definition of turning that. Okay.
Yeah, you cut that out of a solid block and then turn it on the lathe.
Okay. Now, is this something that you also teach in some of the monthly classes for the members, how to do that kind of work?
I'm one of the beginners in there.
Okay.
And this is what one of the guys that showed me.
You're one of the beginners, and this is what you came up with? Yes. I wouldn't say he's a beginner. I'm talking. This is professional work right here.
That's what they kept telling me, too. So.
He's the teacher's pet is what I'm hearing right there, Craig.
Yeah,
He's
he's my
beginner,
teacher-
and this
he's
is
my
what's coming
teacher's
out.
pet.
That's beautiful. What else do you have?
I got involved with on 3D stuff. I seen some boards laying on the floor, so I decided to try and make it, and this is what I've came up with. This is
I'm going to set this.
walnut, cherry, and maple. And it's a cutting board.
It's a cutting board. Okay.
Yes.
So you came up with this design yourself, and then you put like some type of
It's enamel finish.
an enamel over that.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a cutting
Yeah.
board, obviously. So if I
Right.
take a hatchet
Yeah.
or something to this thing, it's not going to ding it up too bad. Or
Not gonna
I'm,
ding it
I'm
up
able
too
to.
bad.
I'm able
Enamel
to cut
dries
that.
really hard. It's the same enamel that the women use on their fingernails.
Okay. Now, is this pattern? Did you come up with that pattern yourself?
Well, actually, I came up with the design of how the wood would transfer, and then I seen on the internet. I seen that type of design,
That's gorgeous.
but they don't give you any idea on how to do it. They just showed it to you.
That's beautiful
So,
stuff.
coming
Art,
up
thanks
with
for
it.
being on. We sure
Thank you.
appreciate you showing off your good work. Craig, thank you so much. Folks, if you want to get in contact with the Shasta Woodworkers, Craig, give us the website one more time where people can reach out.
It's shastawoodworkers.com. It's on the internet, and it tells our meeting date, and it has that same information that I just read to you a couple minutes ago.
And if you want to have some fun and create lots of crafts and ideas and work with the grandkids too, I think that's a lot of fun as well. You can reach out to the Shasta Woodworkers, go online and contact them today. Thanks for watching our show this week. If you want more information about any of the guests or the topics we talked about, you can visit the Retirement Lifestyles page at KIXE.org. We'll see you next week on Retirement Lifestyles, where it's all about having the health, wealth, and freedom you need to live your dream retirement.